Hello, welcome to Give Permission to Ask Questions. I have Scott with me. Scott, do your 30-second elevator pitch.
My name's Scott Jerace. I'm a man of many things. I do everything from marketing, I do property investing, I do air quality and testing for asbestos and mold. I'm a scientist too. And basically, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a business owner, and I'm a community leader. I also participate in my local business association to help my community develop better and have a good direction.
So, the theme today is be authentic. Scott picked the theme. So, why do you want to be authentic? What's the definition of authentic? Tell me.
Well, being authentic basically separates you from the rest of the herd. When you kind of are doing the same thing everybody else is, the question really should be in business, maybe anything else as well. What am I doing to get noticed? You know, I want my business to be successful, and I want my business to be found, and I want people to know what I think, or basically, philosophy of my business. How do you get that out there, and why? It's important to have that message. Lots of people don't use this tactic. They get very scared of the internet and what it is, and like, though you should never disclose personal information on the internet, you can show a little bit of your personality. People want to see you. They want to see that granola effect of a real human being doing real human things, struggling like everybody else, succeeding and having their dreams come true. People typically, when they're purchasing things, or even for, I don't know, any business actually, you need to get noticed by being different. And there's a lot of different ways to do this. But mainly the root of it all is you use your personality. People want to see who you are and support you because of that.
Yeah, so let's go selling 101. It's not what it is. People don't buy the product, they buy the thought behind the product.
Yeah.
Period.
And there's a sequence of touch points that come
Mhm.
into it where you're trying to create a funnel and drive customers towards your product or service that creates actually a relationship. And I think a lot of people miss out on that. When you see things like auto calendars where they push you their calendar and say, pick that, I look at that as a missed opportunity. If you're using that, you're not engaging in the conversation. You're actually creating a barrier between people, because 50% of the people out there are going to look at that and go, well, I'm not your secretary, so I'm not really inclined to take this meeting.
I make meetings. Hey, you busy on Thursday at 2? No. You want a meeting? Yes. Meeting is done. It's said. There's words involved. I'm going to set up the meeting, send you a Zoom. But
How
like,
many, yeah, how many touch
really,
points did you miss out on there if you
right?
didn't do that, right? You'll say, hey, how you doing? I was hoping we could have a one-to-one or a meeting, and you go back. Yeah, that'd be great. You
I
know,
have to set up a meeting with someone right now and I'm too lazy to, because it wasn't a hey, simple, like, let's meet on Thursday. Okay. And then we meet on Thursday. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
I try to give people a couple options too, try to make them feel like they're making the decision. In the case of a customer, that always makes them feel more comfortable. It gives them a little bit of power in the exchange. They're picking the time that you are going to, give to them essentially. And your time is valuable. Everybody's is. So when you make that effort, it demonstrates, that you're, extending that olive branch, and you're going to make it fit for them, type of
So
thing.
I want to go back to the simple definition of what does it mean to be authentic? And I just like it because it's undisputed origin, genuine. Like, what? Undisputed?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. It's like a fight. Do you know what I mean? The undisputed champion, the undisputed authentic.
I like the word just because it's a powerful word. It means
Powerful
a
word.
lot to me though, and my marketing philosophy, where basically like you said earlier, it's the foundational structure behind what I do. And it's easy. I give my secrets away right now, and everybody could have them. I don't really care because I do well enough in this, and I can't, I only got room for so many clients. So basically, my idea behind this is that your business is your business. True. Most people aren't going to care about your business till they need it, though. Till they need it. Like, you're a plumber and you're out there trying to sell your product on, the internet somewhere, and you're not getting a lot of reactions. Basically, they're not that interested in plumbing because people aren't interested in plumbing until their toilet's broken and there's poop all over the floor, and they're trying, I need help now. That's when they need a plumber, right? And of course, it's on the weekend. You got to pay more for that usually, but that's the deal. Maybe if you had something that allowed people to connect with you, to say that person's similar to me, I believe in the same things they do, or have interest in the same thing they do. For instance, if people that know me know I'm a pretty big sports fan. I will always root for my home team, and when they're doing good, I'll always throw shout outs at them. Number one, that gives me a good backlink for my page. People will see I like my team and my team. They may throw love back to me at some point when they notice I've been inputting a long time. Basically using, say, a larger organization's information and creating that backlink also drives people towards you. But again, when they see that sports team is what you identify with, and it doesn't have to be a sports team, it could be lots of different things. For me, that's kind of a big one. They're going to see that you have that thing in common, and the thing that you have in common is actually very common. We're very passionate about our sports team, and we love our sports team, and we're connected now in a big way. Actually, you just gained a lot of brownie points for basically just being a good supporter of your local sports team, really, and sharing that with another fan. How many touch points did you create out of that interaction when they start to talk with you? Maybe they set up an appointment because now they're interested in something that you maybe do preemptively, or a package that you could have ahead of time that they're looking into, or they're interested in, but they weren't really, but now that they're talking to you, maybe they are a little bit more, right? So yeah, authenticness is always
Here's okay. So
yeah.
here's my direct question about authenticity, because you get the right to peel away the onion. Do you know what I mean? So like you look at someone right away and you're like, oh, that person's wearing a backwards hat, he's cool. Or like, oh, that person, exactly like you were saying, they like sports. We can talk about sports, right? So you always start with the touch point of like physically seeing and looking, but then it's like the onion goes away. Like even with career development, oh, like I don't like that about my career. But then there's always like this pain point, right? So that's exactly what you're talking about with the touch point and like making your way through it.
Well, the other ideas that we have, so basically how the structure of it works is you are producing posts that are relevant to your business. Say it's pricing or a deal you got or some sort of sale maybe you're offering. That post is put out daily and people see it, and just kind of, it's a generic post really, and may not get like tons of traffic, but it can build over time. After that, you have to populate your posts with things that interest people. They want to be entertained. They don't want to, like I said, they're not that interested in your business typically, unless some need comes along. Okay, well, I like to cook also, so I had a post that had, it's a total guy post, but it's I think it was like a pig stuffed in a lamb, stuffed in a cow, and it was on a stick and was getting rotated over a barbecue, and it was like, this is a great, man meal type of barbecue thing, right? So I shared that to a group that I'm part of, and that group is basically a construction group, and they just started sharing it all over the place. This post itself, I think, ended up being shared like 26,000 times.
Right.
26,000 times that my information got put into people in my
So
community
that's
base.
like I met you this year. I've known about you subconsciously for years. That's how powerful you are. Because
Often imitated, never duplicated.
you guys are on a bus bench, like that SOS one Clairview area. I've driven past it several times over
Yeah,
several years.
yeah.
It didn't equate, but I'm like, I know that person now, and I'm like, oh my god, subconsciously, you were always my best friend without.
That in itself is a good place to even start with some support of what that maybe that social media is doing for you.
Mhm.
Really truthfully, our bus benches are like really good for us. Again, I do marketing. If you want on a bus bench, hook me up, right? I'll take you there and I'll get you on one. But it's their eye level.
Mhm.
People see them when they're in their cars at rush hour. People see them when they're driving by. They notice them. I put money into billboards and got zero out of that, and they're really expensive. People just don't see it. The billboard that's on the yellowhead that you're driving by, you're not looking at that billboard. You're watching all the other people on the road because they're scaring the heck out of you, right? So you may not notice that, where supplementary stuff is very important, and understanding though too at the same time, putting the supplementary stuff ahead of the foundational stuff is not always advantageous. Where I had a client once, they brought me in, they heard me out about my social media packages and SEO and websites and all that type of stuff. And then I mentioned to them, because at the time I had a deal to basically put advertising in front of movies at West End Mall. As soon as people heard that, they were like, yeah, I want to for that. And they're like, well, okay, like you can have like 3 months of foundational marketing for how much that ad costs to do that. You have to be a place to do that to be to be to your benefit. Don't spend all your money on one touch point. That one touch point may not bear fruit. And you could have a lot of interactions from people on social media first to support that. Say another thing, it's like they see you in the movie theater, but then they go on their phone because they're killing time before the movie, and then all of a sudden your ad is on social media. They seen the ad before the movie, they seen the ad on the phone, they're going to drive away, they'll see the ad on the bus bench, they'll see multiple versatile different things. They're playing golf, you're in a magazine, you see different
So
different areas and different avenues are.
this is what I like about marketing, and it's being authentic with marketing is the pain point, right? So how can I help you at the end of the day? So
Yep.
like again, you have to have the touch points, you have to have the message, being authentic in your message of actually caring for people. That's my favorite thing. That's why I love marketing, because it really is, I can help you.
Yep.
And the chill marketing that takes time to know, like, trust, earn your right for like belief system.
It all depends on the type of person you are too. Like maybe you just, I don't know. I see a lot of generic like stuff getting put out, and it's just flat. There's not a lot there, and frankly, that could be for some people. They are still getting those touch points out. They may not get a lot of attention because they're not that exciting, but that should also always be supplemented with the personality side of this, and that's where I think people are really missing out. You could put out those foundational posts that have that information about your company, but again, what's the hook? What's bringing them in?
Yeah, remember.
Yeah, like what do they get out of maybe watching a video of you? And Laurette, you put out a lot of videos. Someone watches you put out a video about pain points, and they go, you know what, I identify with that. I want to follow Laurette because she actually has something in common.
The
Yep.
beginning of this year, 0 subscribers. End of this year, I'm gonna have 44. Is it 1,000? No. However, those are solid 44 people that I know, like, and trust, and they'll like send my message out, right? Back in the day, remember, back in the day, we didn't have the internet. So like I've talked to some employment specialists in my field. They don't have to do marketing anymore. They've earned their right. They've done their touch points early. They've been in the field for 10 years. They're like, I don't even market anymore. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's established business versus comfortability in what you're doing. You, like, say for us with bookkeeping, we have we do really good. We own the SEO for accounting and bookkeeping in the city of Edmonton. Other people just can't compete. We've been doing it for so long that they'd have to do so much work to even get any keywording between us, and it excuse me, it's kind of not fair the way that the system's set up, but I've been taking advantage of it for my wife's business for a long time, and we have a lot of clients that basically are coming in. We only have so much capacity with our staff because we're going through renovations in our commercial building right now to be able to hire more staff, but there's just no space. We can't take more clients because of that. Well, that sucks because we're sitting there going like, oh my God, really, we want more business, but our building is actually confining us. So that's where we're kind of stalled out at the moment. But other people may look at it and go, well, I'm just look good as one person, maybe an administrator type of thing, two of us going at it. That maybe your comfortability and where you want your ceiling with your business to go. But there's always, I don't know, the sky's the limit in my mind always. You can really take what you want, where you want, how you want. Like another good example, accounting for, well, per capita, our owner does more business than any one owner of any firm in the city. And she's also female. So it's impressive to have that, ability to talk to people about. And again, it connects people. They always want to find out why Danielle is basically where she is, and that more touch points and more stuff, right? So yeah, it's
So at the end of the day, Scott, what is your personal, how am I going to word this? What's your personal brand? Do you know what I mean? Like in one sentence, what would be your authentic theme of Scott Jerace?
Oh yeah, often imitated, never duplicated.
What?
like honestly, I do so many different things, and to say that one thing fits one brand, like, well, I got a lot of brands underneath me, and I do know that, like, in the bigger picture, Scott Jerace is the brand. But truthfully, if you go on my Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, you're never going to see anything about my real life, because you should keep some things private. You know, this internet is a scary thing, and it's data collecting and doing stuff, and keep some privacy in your life. You know, expose enough your personality to, you know, let people know who you are. You can have interests that are similar to people. You don't got to tell them what you had for dinner last night and what your, you know, your sister's marital problems are with her
Right.
husband, and, you know, things like that. That's not called for. And I think people need to keep that in check, especially business, because you can get yourself in trouble later where it's like, oh, well, I said all this crazy stuff, and then now we live in this cancel culture where things that happened like decades ago to people are getting brought back up, and they're getting chastised completely for it, even though they could have changed completely in that time period. You know, I caution people on that. Be careful, because you never know what would come back around to get you, right? And yeah, my social media is very generic. It's me, beaches, holidays. It's probably it mostly. And yeah, people see who I am, and that's an interest that I have. You know, it's not some other things in my life I just don't need to share with people. And I hope people, you know, they do that too, because
Right. It's the onion. The core root of the onion doesn't get revealed in business,
you know,
but the belief system around the onion gets
yeah,
revealed.
unless you find good people that you can
Right.
work with, and then exposing that, you know, that true nature that you have to them, you're less vulnerable, and usually they're pretty respectful because you've done your whole evaluations thing, and you go, yeah, I don't know what, this person's pretty cool. I think that I will expose this thing that I do and see if they're, you know, receptive of it.
Like,
Because like, too, sharing stuff with people is not always the easiest thing in business.
no. And I'm just like, this whole year, I'm like, who do I trust? And I'm like, I'll figure it out, but I don't trust anyone right now. But I'm like, holy shit, I do trust this person. I do trust this person. I don't
Our
trust this person.
philosophy with marketing or whatever business we're doing is transparency. You know, frankly, you want to know what we do? We'll tell anybody what we're doing. You know, most people aren't going to even take that and do much with it, to be honest, because that's not someone doing it for them. That's typically what people really want. But you know, when you're you know, honest, and you got, you know, a good feeling, and you can put all that together, yeah, you can build yourself a really nice marketing plan that focuses on your brand and who you are.
I find clarity is key. And like, you're the pro, but this is what I've learned from Scott in the last year is mission, value, purpose, drive it home. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Understand who you are, tell it to other people. So like, best advice.
There's not going to be anybody that, you know, frankly, sympathy is going to be something for people who are looking for excuses. You know, whatever your hang up is, it'll be the thing that you can't get around. If that's what you prioritize making, you know, that thing. um you know, when you kind of let go of that thing and you start to realize it may not be as big of a flaw as you judged yourself about, or maybe people just weren't nice to you or something, but maybe you needed to find a better group. Maybe you needed a
Yeah.
circle, and that is something you have to evaluate as a business owner too. Is just, you know, what type of, you know, energy am I around, and are these people cultivating that, you know, maybe that inspiration that I'm looking for, or, you know, are they cultivating, maybe helping me learn better about sales or lead gen or whatever, right? So, you know, there's a lot of stuff out there that, you know, people are doing too. Be careful. There's a lot.
Other people in your circle. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, there's a lot of people out there that are playing like they're your friend, and they're not. You know, you'll get like, I don't know, this thing that we keep getting in our accounting thing. We got like a group of marketers, and I don't think they actually do much SEO, because then they notice that social, like SOS marketing and SOS bookkeeping, are kind of two the same, but you know, they're separate corporations, of course, but we work off our brand, right? You know, we've established our brand, you know, so they'll sit there and they'll use these SEO readers, or, you know, things that basically tell you that your website sucks and you need all their help, and they got to do what they got to do. You know, while we do this, we Google ourselves, and we, of course, we show we're ranking really high with just the
Yeah.
words that we're typing into the search bar. Okay, sure, your machine does something, or your program does something. I don't know what it is, because I actually use the analytics in Google Analytics to look at my analytics. I don't need another program. I don't need another some tool. Like, you can look at this stuff. It's not complicated if you spend some time, you know, learning about it, investing time. Another thing, I actually believe that people should invest time in educating themselves.
Yeah. 100%.
If you don't, you're going to get taken advantage of by people.
And like everyone, Scott's coming to my goal setting class on Monday. So
Yeah.
he backs up what he says. So I'm pretty excited about that. And like, at the end of the day, I'm recapping what you said. Master of your own destiny. Do you know what I mean? Like, stop complaining, stop getting punched and being like, poor me, because I don't respect that. Like, if you're like, blah, 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 if you cry in front of me, I'll probably laugh at you. It's only because I know that you can choose a different option. Like, I'm not a complete dick, but like, I
Fair.
don't want to win the story of boo. Like, okay, so my theory of my whole company is a journey of epic proportion. I believe in that to my core. And like, some people don't even think that they can go on a legendary journey. I don't want to play with those people. So, like, in my company, you want to be a legend, you come to Phoenix Career Development. And it's the best story for me. That's
That's
the story that's winning for me.
really where you put in your ceiling, right? And when that sky's the limit type of mentality, that's where you can go. If you say that this is where I'm stopping, then that's where you're going to stop. I've read this book called sorry for the language, it's called Unfuck Yourself. And I can't remember the author at the moment. He's a Scottish guy. He's pretty funny. Basically, what he says in the book is, if you want to be the best at not washing the dishes, you will choose every excuse to not wash your dishes. And guess what's going to happen?
I'm not going to wash those damn
You
dishes.
ain't washing your dishes. You're the winner. You won at that one, right? So you think of it like that. You go, okay, well, how am I making decisions? Am I making proper decisions? Or am I prioritizing certain things? Or are other things kind of becoming more, prioritized over these priorities I thought were important? Like I think you mentioned in the beginning, planning's important. And for me, planning is essential. Everything in my life revolves around the calendar, and even my marketing plan itself has its own calendar that has scheduled posts, and to what platforms at what time, when videos are coming out and what frequency. Am I taking sound bites out of those videos and repurposing them for other content? Like I've sat here in the last half hour and totally give away my secret sauce, so I hope people
No one's going to remember it. It's okay.
you can take it and use it. Please do.
Right?
I really
I
encourage.
use it. I do well with Scott's secret recipe. So
Yeah. People want people, honestly, like, educating yourself is so important, and you will just keep people from taking advantage of you. But then again, it's your business, and on the other, like, who cares more about your business than you? You're going to find that passion in the marketing or side of it that really is effective, I think, better than, say, maybe hiring a company. And I do tell my clients this when they hire me, go, like, I'd really like you to be involved in the creativity side of things, because I want to really know what you're feeling, how you can get that out. What are some other commonalities you'd have with your client base? We want to get all that out, right? So that's the principle behind it. Yeah.
and okay, so I'm recapping. At the end of the day, audaciously authentic. I love it. And okay, this is just like side note. Hey Scott, do you remember what your favorite word is? You always say it to me.
It depends on the day.
Oh, it starts with an N.
No.
Oh, damn. Nefarious.
Oh my, yeah. Well, I use that to describe things that are out of line. I'm
Uh,
not really encountering many out of line things today, so
oh
I'm not.
yeah, right. I'm like, no wonder you can't remember that word today.
No, I'm having a good day. It's not uncovering crooked stuff. So it's
Right.
yeah, it's
So
good.
be the opposite of nefarious. Be authentic. Ding. Questions, comments, concerns, Scott. Anything else? Sage advice.
I hope everybody the best luck for their social media marketing or SEO webpage stuff. I hope this really helped people. You can always email me if you want advice. I like giving out free advice to people. It actually makes me feel really good about the marketing community. Well, my community may not be the best, but I give a little bit back, and I hope people learn just stuff and how to help themselves. At the end of the day, it's not easy out there, and I think that it's a big thing to feel confident about what you're doing with your marketing and your plan and your image for your business.
Yeah, thanks for being here. This is another episode of Give Permission to Ask Questions. And in order to be smart, you have to ask a question. Thank you.